Can I get rid of student loans or tax debts through bankruptcy? If you are struggling with student loans or tax debts and wondering if bankruptcy can be your way out, let us break down the details to help you understand your options. First, let us talk about student loans. Discharging student loans through bankruptcy is not impossible, but it is certainly not easy. You will need to file for either Chapter 7 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which is just the first step. To actually get your student loans discharged, you have to take an additional step called an adversary proceeding. This is essentially a lawsuit within your bankruptcy case where you argue that repaying your student loans would cause you undue hardship. To prove undue hardship, you need to meet specific criteria. You must show that you cannot make the monthly payments on your loans while maintaining a minimal standard of living, that this inability to pay is likely to continue in the future, and that you have made a good faith effort to repay your loans in the past. This is often referred to as the Brunner test. For federal student loans, the process has been simplified somewhat by new guidelines from the Department of Justice and the Department of Education. These guidelines help clarify how to prove undue hardship, making it a bit easier for borrowers to navigate the system. However, private student loans follow a different process and are generally harder to discharge. Now, let us address tax debts. Unlike student loans, some tax debts can be discharged in bankruptcy more straightforwardly. If you owe back taxes, you might be able to get rid of them through Chapter 7 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy, but there are some conditions. The taxes must be at least 3 years old. You must have filed your tax return at least 2 years before filing for bankruptcy, and the IRS must not have assessed the taxes within the last 240 days. For tax debts, you do not need to go through the same adversary proceeding as with student loans. Instead, you just need to meet the eligibility criteria mentioned above. However, penalties on taxes and any taxes that are not income taxes, like payroll taxes, are generally not dischargeable. In summary, while it is possible to get rid of some student loans and tax debts through bankruptcy, it is a complex and often challenging process. For student loans, you need to prove undue hardship, and for tax debts, you need to meet specific time and filing requirements. Always consider consulting with a bankruptcy attorney to understand your best options and the potential outcomes.